Good day to everyone. Let's begin the lecture. Today, we are going to talk about research methods. If you are ready, let's begin. Methods are specific procedures for collecting and analyzing data. Dates, the information. How to make data collection and analysis. We'll talk about it. Your methods depend on what type of data you need to answer in a research question. Will you collect words or numbers? According to this, they can be qualitative and quantitative. They can be primary and secondary. In primary, you collect data yourself. In the secondary, you use collected data. Will you take measurements of something, or will you perform an experiment? They can be descriptive and experimental. And then you have to decide how you will analyze the data. How to do it. You have to decide how to do it. So they can be qualitative and quantitative or mixed methods. Quantitative focuses on numbers. What's the difference between research design and research method? Research design is a plan to answer the research, while research method is a strategy used to implement that plan. So according to the research, the methods can be experiments, surveys, questionnaires, interviews, case studies, and so on. On the screen, you can see the Russian version of methods, as наблюдение, описание, experiment, моделирование, and so on. So there can be surveys, interviews, focus groups, experiments, mixed methods, and so on. Surveys are usually designed to produce relatively short answers. Especially you ask questions and the questionnaires just answer them shortly. They are called survey. From the survey, you try to find an answer for several questions that are related to the research. So, data analysis, observation or interview method, so-called qualitative approach, helps you to collect richer information, but it takes time. Next one is experiment. On the screen you can see the sample from experiment. Of course, you will do some kind of experiment. You use some kind of mixture of something to identify what kind of result you will get. An experiment. People who take part in research involving experiments might be asked to complete various tests to measure their cognitive abilities. The results of different groups are then compared. Interview. On the screen, you see one of the types of the methods. And I think you guessed. You take an interview from interviewer. There are different types of interviews. They can be personal, telephone, focus group, depth, projective, techniques interviews, and they verify from each other. So focus groups. Look at the screen. What can you see? You are right. The researcher works with a group of people. He's getting to know much information from them. So this kind of research is different than a survey or a poll because it allows the participants to share emotional and personal side of a topic. They share in-depth experience, opinions, perceptions of relevant issues. Have to do the conduct of focus group. Choose a well-known location and then try to choose the people who has got the same interest, age, habits, and so on. A focus of group typically involves 8 to 10 people and is designed to be comfortable conversational environment. Typically, several groups will be conducted, and then they'll be compared. The results of the answer will be compared. In-depth interview, that means you interview deeply. You get information from their answers and you make research deeply. They can be one-to-one interview, data collection, personal experience. When we speak about personal interview, especially the questions are given personally. Tell me about what motivates you, describe a type of your work, and so on. When we speak about primary and secondary analysis, the primary data is data we collect ourselves, while secondary data is collected by others before us. When we speak about case study, that means just to identify the problem. You have to search the problem, the results of the problem, what causes the problem. They can be individual case studies of events, roles, and relationship, community studies, social group studies, and so on. So you analyze and identify the causes of problem. Case studies are in-depth investigations of a single person, group, event, and community. Typically, data are gathered from a variety of sources by using different kinds of methods. Next one is archival research. It is a type of research which involves seeking out and extracting evidence from archival records. So you analyze the archive materials. It is a research that involves searching for and extracting information and evidence from original archives. They are the historical, non-current documents, records, and other sources related to the history. They may provide information of interest to research professionals across a wide range of fields. When we speak about comparative analysis, especially you can compare 2, 3, 4, 5 languages in one research, return to one issue. You can work with words, word expressions or some kind of grammar or linguistic problem. Next method is observation. Looking at the screen, I think you have guessed. One of them is naturalistic observation, that observing and recording the behavior of animals in the wild and recording self-seating patterns. You see it in the nature and you observe. You observe the animals, you observe the nature, and it is called naturalistic observation. On the screen you can see people may just observe people's life, animals' life. Maybe they will observe plants' life, how the plants grow, and what about the ants. For example, they may observe insects' life without taking part in it. So now you can see observation is just following outside. Questionnaires, you use questions and answer period. Interviews, you take an interview. Focus group sessions, you take information from group of people. Now you can see on the screen the Russian version of the methods of research. They can be наблюдение, описательный метод, сравнительный метод, исторический метод, experiment, and so on. So we have taken this information from different sources, and so we are given different kind of versions of methods that are given and that are classified by other researchers. They can be even historical. And we can see on the screen participants' observation and non-participant observation type. So what does it mean? Participant observation is that the researcher participates as an active member of the group. But in non-participant observation, researcher does not participate in an activity or situation. So when we speak about the disclosed and undisclosed observation, participants aware of observer and participants unaware of observer. That means participants know that they are asking some kind of question. In the second group, they don't know that they are just the object of research. So on the screen you can see the other types of methods. So that's it for today. Thank you very much, and I do hope that you got some useful information about the research methods, but there are a lot of them. But because it's short of time, we couldn't include all of them to our lecture. Thank you. Thank you very much for being with us. In our next lectures, we'll give additional information about the research methods. Thank you.